What's up everybody? Welcome to another Angler X video. Today we're not on the water, but we're going to be smoking some fish. I'm going to show you how to smoke lake trout, and this will work for trout or salmon or any kind of fish for that matter. But you may have seen my lake trout video out on Lake Superior. We got some really nice fish. I'm going to show you how I smoke them and then how I prepare them to eat them. But this is going to go through the process of soaking the fish, smoking the fish, and then preparing it to eat. But I think we have a great video for you today, so stay tuned. I think you're going to enjoy it. So when I fillet my fish, I like to keep the skin on the fish and just fillet it, leaving the skin on, filleting right off the rib cage. Take the rib bones out. There is one strip of bones that gets left in the fish, and we'll smoke the fish right with those bones in there. But I like to leave the skin on. The skin side will go down against the grill in the smoker. But the first thing I want to do is make sure I rinse off all the fillets really well. You'll rinse them when you initially clean the fish, but you're going to do a rinse right before smoking as well. I'll just run the cold water over them for a while and just kind of agitate them in the water. Make sure that kind of all that sliminess and any kind of blood or whatever else might be on there gets rinsed off, so you have some nice clean fillets. I'll kind of do this for a few minutes just until the water starts to appear a little bit clearer, and then I know the fillets are good and rinsed off. You can dump it out and continue to add fresh water. So the next step is to cut the fillets into manageable pieces. This will allow the brining process to get into the meat more evenly into all the pieces, and then when we smoke them, it'll more evenly distribute the smoke flavoring as it smokes. And then thirdly, it'll allow you to manage the pieces and the cooking of the pieces inside the grill. So a section like this section will cook much faster than a section up here because it's just much thinner than here. So it'll allow you to take these pieces that are down towards the tail out sooner, and then allow the thicker ones to cook. So we're going to cut these pieces, these fillets into 3 pieces. Now I've got my fillets all cut up. I want to try and get some of the water out of the fillets now, so I'm going to pat them dry on some paper towels. So I'll just lay down a few layers of paper towels here, and then I'll just lay the fish out on the paper towels. Just trying to soak up some of that excess moisture. That way the fish will tend to pull in the moisture from the brine. And while I'm letting that paper towel soak up some of that water out of those fish, I'm going to prepare my brine. I'm going to use 4 cups of water to 1/4 cup of salt, or 1 quart to 1/4 cup of salt. I always use natural sea salt. No real reason other than that's what we normally have on hand at home. So I'll add my 1/4 cup of salt to the water. Use a whisk and stir it until the salt's all dissolved in the water. I think with smoking fish, simpler is better. You can add brown sugar and other flavorings to your brine, but I think just salt water is the best. And then the process of smoking the fish is what makes the difference in how long you cook it, and the amount of smoke you put in, the right smoke and temperature, and just the cooking time is what really makes good smoked fish. And if you want to add flavors afterwards, after the fish is smoked, you can start to add sauces and get creative with some recipes with smoked fish. But I think the actual process of smoking the fish and brining it, just keep it really simple, and I think that's the way you're going to have your best success. Alright, looks like all the salt is dissolved. Set that aside. I'm just going to start to lay my fillets in the pan. I'm going to soak them in overnight. I don't know if there's any special way that you got to lay them in here, but always put the meat side up on the first layer. I'll add a little bit of the water or the brine. And then I'll go down with the next layer, meat side down. A little more brine. I'll go up, meat side up. And a little more brine. And then the final layer will go meat side down. So okay, I'll add the rest of our brine. Kind of push that all down in there so all of it's submerged in the brine. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for anywhere from 12 to 24 hours, and tomorrow we'll be ready to put onto the grill. Alright, our fish is done brining. It's been in the refrigerator for overnight, maybe 20 hours or so. And we are going to prepare our grill. I have a relatively inexpensive smoker from Maynard's, but first thing I want to do is oil up the rack. I use olive oil and a brush, and you can just brush that on. Make sure you get the racking covered well with olive oil. We're going to be putting olive oil on the fish as well, so you just want to make sure you get a little bit on both surfaces. Next thing I want to do is make sure we get a lot of that water out of the fish. You can let your fish air dry on racks, or you can do what I do. I use paper towels to soak up the moisture. Essentially, we're going to do the same as what we did prior to brining them. We're just going to lay them out on paper towels. Once we've soaked out a lot of the moisture, we'll pull those paper towels off. We'll lay all those fillets down, meat side down on a clean surface. Pat dry those fillets, skin side, and then we'll apply our olive oil. Alright, our fish is all oiled up. We're going to preheat our grill. My grill is a propane grill. Obviously there's electric, you can use charcoal. This one works fairly well. We'll just let the inside of the grill heat up for a while. Make sure it gets up to about 150 degrees before we start putting the fish in. Okay, it looks like our grill is up to temperature. We'll just turn down the heat for now and start loading our fish in. You're gonna want to grab a pliers so you can grab these racks. You're gonna want to, when you put your fish on, you're gonna want to keep some space between the fillets. If you have a lot of fish, you want to efficiently kind of organize them on the rack so that you can get as many fish in as possible. Your smoker should come with a water tray. It's time now to put the water tray in. This is not actually Fiji water, it's just plain tap water, but having some sort of bottle to dump it in makes it a lot easier. You're going to want some water on hand because it is going to dry up through the smoking process, and you want to keep making sure that the water is full in there. Next thing we're going to do is add the wood chips. I use apple chips. These are from Weber, it doesn't matter. Alright, our fish have been in for about an hour now. Our smoke is kind of dissipated, so we're going to refresh the wood and we're going to brush off the fillets a little bit to get some of that liquid off the top. Alright, the fish is looking great. Shake up the old wood pile here. Add a little water. So we're just going to keep maintaining that temperature, 150 to 200, but when it's all said and done, you want your fish to be at least 160 degrees on the inside for it to be done. And doneness is really kind of personal preference. If you want your fish a little drier, you're going to leave them in longer. If you like them a little bit more moisture in your fish, then you're going to take it out sooner. But it's ready for consumption when it's at 160 degrees internal temperature. But like I said, the amount of dryness of the fish is really personal preference. And I usually go by appearance. Once the outside is kind of a nice golden to dark brown, I'll pull the pieces out. Alrighty, it's been about 3.5 hours, maybe close to 4 hours for some of these pieces. Some of the thinner pieces are looking real good. I think we're going to pull them off. They may still want to stick a little bit even though we did oil them up. So we're going to try and use a spatula and a fork to kind of get them up and off the grill. Take the opportunity now to freshen up the wood a little bit. Looks like there's plenty of wood in there. I just maybe give it a shake. water here. So those thicker sections of fish, we'll let those cook just a little bit longer, but these tail pieces look great. I'm just gonna let these kind of air cool for a while, then I'll put them in a refrigerator in a loosely covered container, and then I'll eventually wrap them in freezer paper individually or 2 in a package. That's the final product there. It looks real good. You can eat it now, but it's best served cold. So chill it down and then test what you've created. All right, guys, this fish is looking done. So we are going to pull the rest of this fish off of the grill. Let it cool down. There you have it, the final product.